Hey there, this is Sean Hollister with CNET, and I'm pretty pissed. I just spent the entire morning trying to get the SNES Classic Edition, the itsy-bitsy $80 Nintendo console. It's going to be one of the hot items this holiday season. It was not particularly easy, because like many of you, I found out this morning it had already gone on sale on Amazon and Best Buy overnight. I didn't get any notifications in my inbox, even though I'd signed up for those. There was nothing to tell me that Amazon was going to throw this thing live at 3 a.m., or Best Buy at around 10 p.m. last night, so I missed out on those sales. And I figured maybe this morning it'll be a little bit better. This morning I heard Nintendo was going to have it on sale again, possibly at Best Buy, possibly at GameStop, and so I did a little bit of digging and found out that indeed GameStop was going to have it at 10 a.m. Pacific this morning. So I got ready, and I wrote up a post to tell our readers all about the SNES Classic. And 10 a.m. rolls around and nothing. It's not there on GameStop's site. I emailed the PR rep back and find out it's only going to be in store. You have to physically go to a GameStop store, line up, and see if you can get one of these things. And just then, Walmart starts their pre-orders. So I click on the Walmart link, and I'm like, okay, is it really there? I refresh the link, and it's already gone. Walmart sells out in less than 2 minutes. Okay, what am I going to do about that? I'm not sure. So I take a look over at Target. Target pops up its pre-order page, and I'm in there. I'm trying to get my order in. Some other CNET editors are too. It's in my cart. I think I'm going to get it. All of a sudden, it throws an error message. I can't get my SNES Classic there either. It tells me, what does it tell me? Let's take a look again at my phone. Oh, it tells me, sorry, something went wrong. Please try again. Due to a temporary issue, you can't change your delivery method right now. I didn't really want to change my delivery method, but there you go. It gets pulled right out of my cart, and all of a sudden it's gone. It's sold out at Target too. What am I going to do? I run down to a physical GameStop store. I figure, okay, if they say you got to go there in person to get the pre-orders, you got to go there in person. So I'm 43rd in line at this GameStop store, waiting in this long line trying to get the console. Turns out I'm there sitting in line for maybe 45 minutes. The sun's beating down on me. It's first world problems, I know, but it's kind of annoying that I have to sit there in line for this thing I thought I was going to get online. I'm waiting there, the sun beating down, and the line starts moving very slowly because it hadn't even started moving when I get there because they don't have their cash registers up and running with the allocations of the units. Their computers haven't been authorized to let people have this. So I'm sitting in line waiting for the line to start moving. Finally starts moving very slowly. 45 minutes later, about 3 places behind the front of the line, all of a sudden, they're out of units too. Turns out this GameStop, the San Francisco flagship GameStop store, only got 36 units, and I was 43rd in line, so I'm not getting one of those. So I sit outside a little bit. I'm doing my duty as a journalist. I talk to a person coming out who did get one of the units, and she's ecstatic about getting the unit, but even she's not too happy about the situation. She talks about how big a cluster, I'm not going to say the whole word, how big a cluster this whole situation was, that Nintendo didn't make enough of these, the retailers weren't prepared, the websites were down. While I'm sitting there, the GameStop app, people say, oh, you can get one through the GameStop app, so I pull up the GameStop app, and sure enough, the units are there, the bundles are there, but you can't add any of them to the cart. The app doesn't work. Here's the item in the app. It says it's unable to look up the product. What am I going to do about that? So I try the website. GameStop's website is down. I give up. I'm walking back from GameStop back to the office. I figure I'm going to do some real work now. And on the way back, I see a tweet from Wario64, who follows these things very closely. He says, hey, they're up at ThinkGeek. So I take a look at ThinkGeek, and sure enough, ThinkGeek has some of these bundles, but they are not cheap. The minimum they want for one of these bundles is $140, and I'm not going to pay $140 for an $80 product, particularly when these bundles here are sold by GameStop's company, ThinkGeek. ThinkGeek is owned by GameStop. They're basically scalping their own customers here in order to get them to buy expensive bundles with things you don't really need that are made by GameStop, made by ThinkGeek in their own line of products. So you can get a cool little Zelda shield or something like that, or they've got like a Mega Man Buster Arm, which I guess is cool, but I don't want those things. I might already have those things. I just wanted to get one of these consoles, and GameStop is making me pay extra to get one of them, so I don't buy one of those either. Just as I'm getting back to work, I'm getting back to CNET headquarters, I hear that the GameStop site is finally up. This is, 1:30 now. I had a quick lunch to help cool myself down. Turns out, we still, right now, can't get into the GameStop site, still can't get these pre-orders taken care of. all of these retailers pushed this thing live randomly. Like, you had to be refreshing these pages nonstop to figure out if you were going to be able to get one of these, because they didn't give anybody any warning that this was going to happen. You just had to be there at the right moment at the right time in order to hit F5 and keep refreshing until you finally get one of these things. And it really pisses me off. And I can't really understand, I still don't understand to this day, why Nintendo would do this. They haven't learned any lessons from the NES Classic when they had the same issue last year. Limited amount of stock, a lot of people wanted it. Only folks who are really quick on the trigger online, or scalpers who can spend all day looking at this, or were using, bots that scrape these sites and try to figure out how to enter in that payment information. Those are the only kind of folks who get these. And Nintendo's typical, that's not really Nintendo's typical fan. Nintendo's typical fan, they sell to families. They want young kids who, haven't experienced these games. Parents can buy these classic consoles and share these games with their kids. That's not really happening here unless those parents cough up a lot of cash on eBay or are super savvy. And if a tech editor like me can't get one of these units, how does Nintendo expect any of those folks to do it? Well, last year, after the NES Classic sold out so abruptly at all these places, Nintendo abruptly discontinued the entire system. And I wonder if... that didn't make any sense then. I wonder if what's happening here with this system, the SNES Classic and the NES Classic before that, is maybe Nintendo is just trying to get publicity. Maybe they are just trying to say, look at all these fans, they're rabid for Nintendo nostalgia, these Nintendo products, and get that to translate somehow in the game of telephone to Nintendo is great, and maybe people go out and they buy the new Nintendo Switch instead of these, classic consoles. But that means a lot of people miss out on these classic games, because there's no way to buy those on the Switch either. A lot of these games aren't easy to buy on a new Nintendo console, and in fact one of them, Star Fox 2, which I was really looking forward to playing, is an SNES game that had never been released before. There's no other way to play this game. Nintendo hasn't said they're going to bring it to any other systems, so they get this publicity for being, amazing, to coming out with this game that people never got to try before, coming out with this cute mini console where you get all these games for a great value, but who actually gets to try that? Very few people. Now, we're hearing that there will be some more stock of the console in stores at launch on September 29th. Maybe you can go to your local GameStop or Target or Best Buy or Walmart, etc., and get one of these things. But in the meantime, it's leaving a really bad taste in my mouth and in some of the other people who were trying to get these consoles today. I just wonder how many people don't even know that this device went on sale today. They were waiting, they've probably been hotly anticipating this ever since it came out, and unless they checked news, unless they checked their tech site like CNET in the last 8 to 12 hours, they don't even know that this happened, and they're going to come in, they're just going to say, oh shit, I missed out, it's too late for me. And I wonder if overall that helps or hurts Nintendo. It certainly doesn't help me personally. So that's my report today on the SNES Classic snafu, and we'll bring you more about it at CNET.com. Thanks for tuning in.